let us talk about the reality of prepping and survival gear. Far too many people in the firearms community are convinced they need to drop a couple of grand on a safe queen just to ensure their family is protected. I am standing here on the range today to tell you that is a massive misconception. When you are off the grid, miles away from civilization, a $600 bolt gun can be the ultimate equalizer. Out in the real world, nature does not care what fancy logo is etched on your receiver. All that matters is whether or not that weapon fires when you pull the trigger. The market is actually packed right now with absolute workhorses for under $700. These are rifles that will consistently drill dime-sized groups and take a serious beating in the back of your rig without a single hiccup. Today, we are breaking down the 5 most dependable, budget-friendly rifles that you can absolutely stake your life on. These are the defensive and hunting tools that will literally put meat on the table when the supply chains finally snap. Let us get down to business. The Savage Axis 2XP. I have always heavily respected a firearm that prioritizes function over flash. That is exactly the philosophy behind the Savage Axis 2XP. You are not buying this platform to show off to the guys at your local indoor range. You are buying this to ethically harvest medium game, survive brutal conditions across the lower 48, and maintain absolute zero when you are soaking wet and freezing. Savage is legendary for giving blue-collar shooters exactly what they need and cutting out everything they do not. Right now, you can find these packaged for roughly $520, typically chambered in .308 Winchester. Always include a factory-mounted Bushnell banner scope, specifically the 3-9x40 model. It is usually bore-sighted right from the factory, meaning you are just a few minor adjustments away from ringing steel at 100 yards. But the true star of the show here is the AccuTrigger system. Let us be brutally honest. Most entry-level triggers feel like you are dragging a rusted chain across wet concrete. Savage fixed that problem entirely. This trigger is fully user-adjustable from 2.5 up to 6 pounds. In my experience, they leave the factory set right around that sweet spot of 3.5 pounds. The break is phenomenally crisp. There's absolutely zero creeping or sponginess before the shot breaks. When you are shivering on a ridgeline, trying to time your shot between massive wind gusts, you need a trigger that works with you, not against you. The barrel is a 22-inch carbon steel profile. It is button-rifled and entirely free-floated from the factory. Now, it does not come with a threaded muzzle. If you are planning to run a suppressor right away, you will need to factor in some gunsmithing costs down the line. But for this incredibly low price point, I can easily look past that detail. Feeding it standard Hornady American whitetail ammunition, I have personally watched this platform print tight, 1 MOA clusters off a basic, inexpensive bipod. The action utilizes a traditional 2-lug bolt featuring a 90-degree lift. Yes, that is a bit of a high throw compared to modern 60-degree designs, but the lockup is incredibly robust. I have strapped these rifles to ATV racks for days on end, and the action has never once bound up or failed to cycle. The polymer stock is Spartan, but it utilizes a solid pillar bedding system for accuracy. Texturing provides an aggressive grip, which is a literal lifesaver when your hands are slick with rain or field dressing fluids. The 4-round detachable box magazine locks in tight and feeds with total reliability every single time. If you need a single dedicated survival rifle that will not drain your bank account, the Axis 2XP is a massive contender. The Mauser M18 Savannah. Moving on to some serious European pedigree, we have the Mauser M18 Savannah. The exact moment you shoulder this rifle, you realize it punches way above its weight class. Mauser has been crafting combat-proven actions for over a century. They took that battle-tested DNA and injected it straight into a modern, highly affordable platform. Having dragged this specific gun through thick underbrush and unforgiving weather, I can confidently say it is overbuilt for the price. You can typically pick one up for around $600, and it handles heavy-duty calibers like .308 Winchester like an absolute champion. It's a beautiful 22-inch cold hammer-forged barrel. And yes, it comes threaded 5/8 by 24 straight out of the box. That means you can twist on your favorite can the second you get home from the gun shop. It features a flat Savannah tan finish that aggressively resists corrosion and keeps your visual signature incredibly low in the woods. When I feed it Hornady Precision Hunter ammunition, it consistently produces sub-MOA groups at 100 yards. The action relies on a massive 3-lug bolt with a very fast 60-degree throw. That short lift is a huge tactical advantage in the field. It allows for lightning-fast follow-up shots while keeping your knuckles completely clear of your optic. When you are prone in the dirt and fractions of a second matter, that bolt design is a total game-changer. The trigger is another absolute standout feature on this rifle. It comes out of the box tuned to roughly 2.5 pounds. The break is exceptionally clean, rivaling aftermarket drop-in triggers that cost half as much as this entire rifle. But the feature I love the most for field work is the 3-position safety. This allows you to aggressively cycle the bolt to clear a live round, all while the firing pin remains safely blocked. It is a critical safety feature when you are navigating treacherous terrain or climbing into a blind. The synthetic stock might appear basic, but it hides dual steel bedding blocks molded directly into the frame. It also includes soft-touch grip areas and a highly functional removable recoil pad. Behind that pad is a hollow storage compartment. It is the perfect spot to stash a boar snake or some emergency survival gear for a grab-and-go scenario. The internal 5-round magazine feeds like an absolute dream. It also eliminates the risk of dropping a magazine in the middle of a highly stressful situation. Had to grab one European-style bolt gun for a bug-out bag, the Mauser M18 Savannah would be it. The Mossberg Patriot Predator. Now let us shift our focus over to the Mossberg Patriot Predator. I know exactly what you are thinking. When you hear Mossberg, you immediately picture a tactical pump-action shotgun. You think of the legendary 500, the combat-ready 590, or the semi-auto 930. But do not sleep on their precision bolt guns. Mossberg engineered decades of real-world field experience into the Patriot line. I have spent serious time behind the 6.5 Creedmoor variant, which usually runs about $540. I am telling you right now, it shoots like a precision rifle with a comma in the price tag. Calculated tactical choice for anyone looking to maximize every single dollar. It is incredibly light, devastatingly accurate, and built like an absolute tank. The barrel is a 22-inch fluted profile, and it also comes threaded 5/8 by 24. Being suppressor ready out of the box is no longer a luxury, it is a tactical necessity. If you are operating in a grid-down scenario, managing your acoustic signature could literally save your life. That barrel is button-rifled and fully free-floated from the stock. Supported by a remarkably rigid bedding system, this rifle easily prints 1 MOA groups with standard Hornady American whitetail loads. I have seen this specific rifle get battered around in truck beds and subjected to rapid temperature shifts, and it refuses to lose its zero. The LBA, or lightning bolt action trigger, is a massive upgrade over older designs. You can safely adjust it anywhere from 2 to 7 pounds with basic hand tools. I prefer mine set right at 3 pounds, and the break is pristine. The bolt itself is spiral fluted, which reduces weight and gives dirt and debris a place to go, so the action does not lock up on you. The 90-degree throw cycles cleanly and smoothly. I have run this bolt hard with thick winter gloves on, and the oversized handle provides tremendous mechanical leverage. The polymer stock is pillar-bedded and heavily textured, exactly where your support hand needs traction. The 4-round drop box magazine is flawless. I have intentionally tried to induce malfunctions by mixing different cartridge brands, and it just kept eating them without a single jam. Mossberg even throws in a pre-installed Picatinny rail right from the factory. Mounting a quality optic takes mere minutes. For under $600, the Patriot Predator is a masterclass in budget-friendly performance. The CVA Cascade. Next up on the rack is the CVA Cascade. For the longest time, I completely associated CVA with the black powder and muzzleloader market. They absolutely dominate that specific space. But their entry into the centerfire bolt-action world is nothing short of spectacular. I have put a ton of rounds through the .308 Winchester model, which sits right around $650. If you pair this rifle with a solid piece of glass, it will stack rounds like a custom precision match gun. This is a heavy-duty backwoods survival tool, plain and simple. Let us start by looking at the 22-inch cold hammer-forged barrel, free-floated and heavily threaded at 5/8 by 24. Running suppressed is the standard now, especially if you are hunting on a small property or trying to stay completely under the radar. This rifle will shoot sub-MOA all day with match-grade ammunition, and it stays incredibly tight with standard off-the-shelf hunting rounds. CVA utilizes a Savage-style barrel nut system for head spacing. From a hardcore survivalist perspective, that is a huge advantage. It means you can potentially swap barrels yourself if you shoot it out, or if you need to change calibers down the road due to severe ammunition shortages. It is remarkably slick for a sub-$700 gun. It features a robust 2-lug bolt with a very fast 70-degree lift. The tactical-style oversized bolt knob gives you excellent control, even with cold, wet hands. I have run this gun fast and hard in heavily dusty environments, and the action just glides. The 4-round magazine fits flush with the bottom of the stock and feeds seamlessly into the chamber. But the stock itself is a hidden gem in this price bracket. It is a fiberglass reinforced synthetic material coated in a premium soft-touch finish. As soon as you torque down the action screws into those aluminum bedding pillars, you can feel the absolute rigidity. Here is the best part for you tinkerers out there. The Cascade uses the legendary Remington 700 footprint for scope bases. This gives you access to a massive aftermarket ecosystem if you ever want to upgrade. The factory trigger is phenomenal though, so you might not even want to change it. I have tested them breaking consistently at an incredibly light 1.6 pounds. If you want a rifle that performs like a custom build without the custom price tag, do not overlook the CVA Cascade. The Ruger American Predator. Finally, we absolutely have to talk about the Ruger American Predator. When you are building out a dedicated long-term survival kit, versatility is everything. Your primary rifle needs the sheer precision to take game at long distances, but it also has to survive being tossed around in the dirt, mud, and snow. The Ruger American Predator is practically the dictionary definition of a rugged utility rifle. You do not typically expect surgical precision from a firearm that costs around $550, but Ruger has been manufacturing bulletproof firearms for American citizens for a very long time. They know exactly what it takes to survive in the wild. The hammer-forged barrel on this gun is outstanding. If you grab the 22-inch model in 6.5 Creedmoor, it comes threaded 5/8 by 24. You can attach a can, dial in your scope, and start shooting sub-MOA groups with Hornady Precision Hunter almost effortlessly. I have personally engaged targets past 300 yards in terrible weather conditions, and the point of impact simply does not shift. That incredible consistency is largely due to Ruger's power bedding system. It uses stainless steel V-blocks molded directly into the polymer to positively lock the receiver in place. The result is a rock-solid platform that can take a serious beating without shifting your zero. The Ruger Marksman trigger is fantastic for field work. It usually ships set around 3.5 pounds, offering a crisp, highly predictable break. Combine that trigger with the 3-lug bolt and its short 70-degree throw, and you can run this gun incredibly fast. You can cycle a new round without ever taking your eye out of the optic. The factory-installed Picatinny rail makes mounting your scope incredibly easy and secure. The moss green polymer stock is lightweight, completely weatherproof, and highly ergonomic. The flush-fit rotary magazine holds 4 rounds and feeds flawlessly. Never experienced a nosedive or a failure to feed, even operating in sub-zero temperatures. This is not a flashy rifle designed for Instagram. There is no unnecessary tactical junk bolted onto it. It is just a purely functional, highly lethal piece of hardware. If the grid went down tomorrow, and I could only grab one rifle under $700, the Ruger American Predator would be in my hands without hesitation. There you have it. 5 incredibly capable rifles, all coming in well under the $700 mark. These platforms prove you do not need to take out a second mortgage to protect your family or put food on the table. When the chips are down and things get real, reliability, durability, and raw accuracy are the only metrics that actually matter. I want to hear from you guys down in the comments section. What is your absolute favorite budget-friendly survival rifle? Did I leave your go-to bolt gun off this list today? Drop your real-world experiences down below so the whole community can learn from them. Found this breakdown helpful, and you want to see more no-nonsense gear reviews? Hit that like button right now. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Train hard, stay dangerous, and always carry.